guys, welcome to my video. Thanks for clicking. As promised, this is the kind of the unboxing video of the cold laminator I bought from Amazon. This is the 29.5-inch laminator. It's not, we'll just get right into it. It's not packed pretty tight. When you open up the box, there's not much material in there. It's just got that thin styrofoam material. The box did have some visual damage on it from being shaken around, I guess, in the truck. But once you pull out the styrofoam, this one, the two sides are already attached. Platforms, they're just tied together with a piece of plastic strap. There's a piece of wood in there, I guess, to keep it from poking through the box on the side. I just tossed that aside and I didn't use that for anything, but you could tell it had been hit pretty good because it was all dented and scratched up pretty bad. The wood, not the laminator. The laminator didn't really have any scratches on it at all. Opening both sides down and inspecting it, there was a little bit of rubber on one of the platforms, I guess from the rollers rubbing against it during transit. But other than that, it was in pretty good shape. You can see here where it's got some scuff marks on it, but that's just rubber from the roller. The handles seem to be pretty good shape. I know a lot of folks have talked about when they got theirs, those pressure handles were broken off. Both of mine were on there. Fortunately, they were okay. The main roller handle comes separate in a plastic bag. It seemed to be fine. For the most part, it was in pretty good shape. The only assembly is just getting this handle on, and that's pretty straightforward. It's got a little set pin on the side that you can use to get it on there. I'll rotate it around so you can kind of see how it's going on. I kind of test fit it on there to see how it's gonna roll. Like I said, it's pretty straightforward. The instructions that come with it don't make any sense at all. As with most Chinese things, I think they try their best to try to translate it from Chinese to English, and looks like they just run it through a computer and it just doesn't translate very good. If you can see the first line, it says, "Does thanks you purchase hand-operated style cold mount picture machine." But you can kind of read the rest there. It doesn't really make any sense, so it's not very helpful at all. I don't really think you need these instructions. It'd be better off if they would just do like a diagram that kind of shows you how to put things together. But I just thought it was kind of funny, a little bit comical how it reads. Anyway, back to the laminator. Once you get it all set up, like I said, there's not much to it. You've got two sides that are just hinged down at the bottom. You've got some pressure, I guess you'd call these pressure adjustment screws. I'm not really sure what the name of them would be, but that's how you set the tension on the rollers. Once you start laminating things, you'll adjust that tension because you'll be able to kind of tell what works and what doesn't work when you're running material through there, because if it's too tight, sometimes it makes it bind and curl up and it doesn't really work right. So just kind of, you can back it all the way out, and then once you get it where you feel like it's touching, go ahead and do it like one full turn or maybe a half turn. I think I did a 3/4 turn on both sides and kind of put an even tension, because I just wanted to do a test run with some logos I'd printed out with crop marks. The laminating material I ordered off of Amazon. I believe it's a Vivid brand. I think it was a 3mm matte laminate. It came on a 12-inch roll. It was a 12-inch by 5-yard roll. Or maybe 3-yard roll. Might have been a 3 or 5-yard roll. But I just kind of cut off enough just to test it. I wanted to see, didn't want to waste too much material trying to figure out how to use this, so I just cut off a little bit and kind of went from there to see just to kind of see how it works. So just kind of lining it up, making sure I can cover both crop marks and cover the material completely. Table I have it set on is not big enough. I could use a really bigger table, but again, I was just trying to figure out how to use it, so this was working fine for what I needed it for. You can't see right here, but I'm peeling the edge off and folding the paper back and leaving like maybe half an inch of laminate material with the adhesive side up, because I'm going to flip that over and then put it on the edge of the decal, kind of line it up. And if you've watched other laminator videos before, you just kind of line that edge up and make sure that all the material is going to cover all the way to the edge of your printout from crop mark to crop mark, and that way once you run it through the laminator, it'll laminate it flat all the way to the edge where it needs to go. So again, you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm pushing it down the edge, making sure it's straight, so when I run it through the laminator, it will go on evenly and not get skewed and not mess up while it's going through the laminator. So I feed the edge in. Sorry you can't see the other side, but I've got the decal in there and then the top of the laminate paper in there, and I'm just going to pull the paper back as I roll the laminator, and it'll just squeeze them together. If you don't pull back fast enough, it'll grab that paper and go right through, kind of like how it's doing right here. So you can just kind of roll it back out, pull that paper out of the way, and then it'll peel off, and then you can just kind of roll it as you're pulling back, and it will clear the paper, and the rest of the laminate material will press onto the decal. It just kind of, like I said, I was trying to figure it out, so it kept kind of getting stuck in there, being pulled in. But once I figured out not to get the paper caught in there, and pull it a little faster as I roll the laminate through there, it seemed to work pretty good. So you can see my crop marks here. I'm just kind of smoothing it out, looking at it, feeling it, touching it, seeing how it looks, and it seemed like it did pretty good. So I'll run it back through the BN20 using the crop marks, and I'll cut it out and see how it turns out. So once I ran it through there and cut it, it came out pretty good. If you just got to be sure that all your material is clean, because if you have something under there, like right here, you can see a speck of, I'm not even sure what that is. Might be salt, I don't know, because I was probably eating or something. But this is from the test run, but it came out pretty good. This is a matte laminate. This was a test cut, because you can kind of see my lines are off on this one, but I ended up reprinting another sheet, and this order was for 50 of these, and then 20 or 100 of a longer one where they're not, it's not stacked, where it says Solo Garage side by side. But it worked pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Thanks for watching, guys.